I
Come
love
on,
I love it. I love it. Yes.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is once again your Queen Bee is coming at you, honey. It is August. We know it's been hot outside. We've been transitioning and moving some things around. So we missed June and July, but August is the hot month anyway. So we're coming back to you with a hot topic, okay? This evening, we are joined by some awesome guests to talk about a topic that could be a little touchy. So we're going to see how we, spill the tea, how hot it is, and talk through this thing as mature adults. But of course, because it's Queen Bee, we're going to have some fun, y'all. Queen Bee is presented by the Monte Method and Selma Air. It is my pleasure to be here
What's
with you this
going
evening.
on?
Yes, Monte!
What's up?
So while we are waiting for folks to come on into the room with us, we want to encourage everyone who is watching live. Please share this video, tag your friends, y'all. It is time for us to spill the tea. We are talking about being saved and sexy, two S words that don't always go together, but we're going to talk about those things and why it's important for us to consider these. It's okay to be saved and sexy. At least I think so. But we're going to talk to the good Christians out in the audience. So you will be able to comment. We'll talk to the good Christians here in these squares. It's like Hollywood squares this evening. Look, and we want you to, again, tag and share. Share this video. Share, share, share. Tag your friends. Come on into the room and let's have a great conversation. So, without any further ado, I do want to allow folks to introduce themselves. Monte Method, come on here.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Monte, also known as the Monte Method, and I am the founder of Queen Bee Women's Sexual Health, which started off as a conference. I don't know what the word to put at the end now, since we're not really a conference, but the Women's Sexual Health platform. And I know you're asking yourself, why is some guy doing something that's relating to women? Well, just to give you a little back end story, when I worked in the HIV field doing community engagement, I was tasked with an assignment to do something that was relating to women, simply because the HIV rates in women were going up, and then we wanted to get the word out about PrEP among women. And so we knew that the church had a very, very high impact on the way people thought, the decisions that they make, and the way they move. And so we wanted to do something in the church. And so I came up with Queen Bee, and I invited my good friend Kimmel, whom you will hear from shortly, and another friend of mine who was a guest of ours a couple of months ago, Cynthia Rogers, and they were two of my top guests, my heavy hitters, and from that day forth, Queen Bee has been going on. We kind of took a break from it. Lydia hit me back up and said we should do Queen Bee virtually, and here we are. And as I said before, I did not want to do Queen Bee without Kim or Cynthia, and Kim has been with me from day one. Has been with Lydia and I, because I can't do this without Lydia, because she does all the back end work. She stays on my head because I'm always busy doing stuff, and so I really appreciate you, Lydia, for really, really stand on me, even when I don't respond in a timely manner and all that stuff. So here we are, and I'm ready to dive into this conversation. So I pass the mic on to Kim.
Good evening, everybody. This is Kim Moon here. I'm familiar with a lot of you all, but I am the founder of Positively Beautiful. And why I found it positively beautiful, I just want you to know it's not about being positive, nor is it about being beautiful, but it's more about being whole. That's something that we as women need to learn to do. And so I felt that that was important to me. And so that's what I did. So I'm glad to be here. And I have been riding with Monte for a long time because I love it. I love talking to women, I love educating women. And I just love, encouraging, equipping, and enlightening women so that we can be our best selves.
I love it.
So I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yes,
I am Chrishon Brown Smith. I am lead singer for the Anointed Brown Sisters, Minister Chrishon Smith. And I think I am a poster child. I am a self-proclaimed poster child for being saved and sexy. Come
Yes,
through here.
All
All
right.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Just released a new single in April. Everybody go get it. All digital music outlets. Good Morning Jesus is my new single. And I do have products. Go to my website, CB Smith Ministries. Get my product. Get the song. Be a part of CB Smith Ministries.
Awesome, 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 y'all. See, I told you it was going to be great, and we're going to spill some tea this evening on Queen Bee Live right here on Facebook. Again, y'all, please tag and share. This is going to be a great conversation, and don't forget to comment, because as topics are brought up, we need your feedback. We want your feedback. This is a show about you, not us. This is all for you, by you. Listen, we are just the voices on the screen, but we need your participation in this conversation as well. Before we move any further, we just want to take a moment to remind folks that we are in the midst of a pandemic. COVID-19 is a term that none of us are excited to hear about on the news. The rates are getting higher and higher by the day. Here in the state of Alabama, we were just talking before we came on, we saw that in the state of Alabama, we're at negative 11 as far as the number of ICU beds, which means essentially there aren't any rooms, there isn't space for folks, right? But there's also not staff. People are getting tired. Y'all, so a big shout out to all of the people on the front line who are risking their lives every single day going into hospitals and nursing homes and caring for people. Man, I mean, y'all are the superheroes of the century because you're getting us through this global pandemic in a major way. And we just really, really, really want to give a shout out to y'all and also encourage you, the viewers. Y'all, I know we all feel differently about this vaccine thing, but between masking, keeping our hands clean, and a vaccine, I mean, we've got to deploy all the tools we have available. And right now, the vaccine is one of the things that we can equip ourselves with in our toolbox. Want to encourage everyone. Vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccinations are absolutely free of charge. Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, health departments, y'all, we've got to protect ourselves the best way we can. So any of you all, I know that we all have some personal stories. Selma has, taken so many losses in the midst, and I know that that's not it's not new, because across the country we've seen over 600,000 Americans lose their lives because of this virus that is sweeping the nation and sweeping around the globe. So if you all have any personal things you want to say, encouraging words to offer the folks, and then we're gonna dive into Saved and Sexy.
Oh, I just want to say this though.
Go ahead, Kim.
I just literally just received a text for AJC breaking news. Georgia, I live in Georgia, just reached 1 million cases for this entire time. So Georgia has reached 1 million cases of COVID, and we've got to. And I know a lot of people compare it to, oh, well, I remember Tuskegee Institute. Well, Tuskegee Airmen. Well, what they fail to realize is this: with Tuskegee, with what went on in Tuskegee, that wasn't about a show. They were refusing to give them treatment.
Right.
That's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing. They're trying to give it to you. And the only reason I feel safe about it, because I'm watching them take it too. If they were saying, I need all y'all black folk to go get this, then I'd be worried. Okay? But they're getting it too. They ain't got one for the blacks, look, one for the coloreds, and one for the whites. Look, I had to say it the country way. One for the color, one for the whites. They got them for. It's the same one. Exactly. You walk in there behind the CEO or the president of a company and get the same. In fact, out of the same bottle, because the bottle has more than one dosage in it. So it's the same. We gotta get it, and we gotta stop comparing to what happened with Tuskegee. Airmen. If you're gonna try to do it, do your research because it's important. I just told them that my niece, her husband had COVID, and I don't know, it messed with him mentally, and so he killed himself just the other day. literally 2 days ago. Just killed himself.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to live no more. I mean, the stress of it, and it's way too much. And it wouldn't be if we would just take it. So I employ everybody. I beg everybody to get that vaccine. Honey, I took mine in December, my first in December, and my second one in January. And I'm saying, where y'all want me to go to get that booster? I'm I'm in line, first in line.
I just want to tell all the young people that are watching and some of the old ones too. I hear a lot of people always say that I don't know what's in it. But baby, let me tell you something. I'm guilty too. We will stop by these hookah lounges
and smoke up something.
You better talk about it, Monte.
And don't know what we inhaling, but because it's the going thing, we hookah all day. And I'm guilty.
That's anything. That's McDonald's. We don't know what they're doing to the food.
Absolutely.
That's
but what we do know is over 600,000 have died from COVID.
Yes.
Right.
That's what we know for
so
sure.
Y'all go get this shot so this stuff can ease on out and y'all can smoke these hookah and don't have to worry about nobody with COVID.
Okay.
But that's my spiel.
Listen. Y'all, we're about to have a good time. I don't know, Minister Chrishon, did you want to share anything about COVID? You want to encourage the people?
I just, if you don't care anything about yourself, that's the way I feel about COVID. If you don't care anything about yourself, care about the people around you, the people that you are coming in contact with. Care about me. If you got to come and pay your bill, and I say it all the time, I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to do everything I need to do to try and protect you from whatever I have going on. So do me the same courtesy. Get vaccinated. Wear your mask. Use your hand sanitizer. It's okay. I think right now it's helping us to be just a little bit cleaner than we have been in a long time. I'm just going to be honest. Some of us, we have a bad problem of not washing our hands. Mm-hmm. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And now people carry around hand sanitizer. Listen, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, boo. Carry your hand sanitizer. Make cute little thingies on your keychain. Listen, I'm so proud of you. I don't know what to do. Squeeze it and then bump fists with me. I ain't got no problem. Ooh, that's so cute. Thank you. I love it. Those of you doing your business thing on making hand sanitizer and sell it, boo. Sell your stuff. Help protect us out here. Go and get vaccinated and quit asking questions. You didn't ask any questions about the flu vaccine when they had. You didn't ask any questions. You didn't. Your mom and daddy, they didn't ask any questions when they said your child had to have polio vaccine. They had to have. Didn't nobody ask no questions. You didn't ask nothing. Right. You don't go in the grocery store and pick up a bottle of Aleve and read the ingredients on that Aleve. You just expect it to do what they said Aleve is gonna do. Right. And hear me when I tell you, this is not just me talking, but science says that there has been more thought that went into this COVID vaccine than has gone into any other vaccine of a virus.
And more participation with people of color. So understand that every last one of the trials that this vaccine, all of them went through, get black folks to participate in trials is a headache. I promise you. I know that and all of us can attest to this from the folks that we work around. We don't want to participate in trials, but every one of the COVID vaccines that have been approved for emergency use, there are 3 of them, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. Mm-hmm. All of them had phenomenal participation by black folks and other people of color. So let's stop it. Like Kim said, we're not worried about McDonald's, right? Monte talked about the hookahs. Listen, and I want to go back to that McDonald's thing real quick, because when I thought about it, there was a viral video years ago that showed somebody trying to burn the meat with a blowtorch. Uh-huh. Any meat that cannot burn has something in it or on it.
That's right.
And yet we feed it to our children on the regular. Right. So if we're not questioning these fast food restaurants, why are we questioning science that is backed up by real data? Listen, you can leave that hamburger up under your seat for 2 years. It's still going to look like a Big Mac.
Absolutely.
Nothing changed. Really? We're not doing that. We're gonna get vaccinated. This is our shot to get the shot.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. It's our shot.
So listen now, we have this awesome thing called Saved and Sexy as our topic. So these are two, yes, honey, look, that's something to shout about because hopefully some woman who is watching this show will see that it's okay to feel sexy, to be sexy, and know that you are saved.
Yeah.
Why do y'all think these two terms just are so often viewed as like polar opposites? Like you shouldn't be sexy if you're saved.
Lies. The devil is a lie.
Agreed. Yeah, but why is that? Like what's behind that, you think?
Well, I'm gonna let our guest respond first because I feel like that's appropriate. I don't want to take over. Y'all know I get to run my mouth.
Yeah,
The way I feel, and Miss Kim, I am too. I'm a talker. So somebody wave the flag, when I'm way out there. But it all comes, it's exactly what Kim said. Lies that we've been taught and lies that we have been told. I learned something a few years ago. I heard T.D. Jakes say, they questioned him about Joel Osteen and Joel Osteen's comment towards homosexuality and how did he feel about it. And Joel Osteen gave his opinion. Hear me when I say he gave his opinion. They asked Pastor Theodore Jakes, they asked him the same thing. And T.D. Jakes said, your opinion does not matter. Right. My opinion, what I think, it doesn't matter. He said, the Bible is what it is, and it's been laid out for us. He said, you go by it or you don't.
Right.
You pray, you live, you forgive. It's over. But our opinion doesn't matter. When it comes to being saved and sexy, the things that we have been taught, people make us feel like it's something wrong with it. And I am so glad that I learned God for myself. I learned how to read. First of all, thank you that I know how to read.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Fundamental. It's fundamental. Let me
yes. And not just reading, but the comprehension thereof. Because see,
reading with a comprehension.
Yes. Yeah.
So in my reading and getting an understanding,
that's it.
I have understood that. So I'm married 25 years. I understand that my husband likes my legs, and he don't just like them at the house. He like them when we leave home, huh, Monte? My husband has a foot fetish, and he loves my feet.
And you want them to look good for him.
Yes.
Don't make me lean in no closer, Miss Kim. Don't make me lean in no closer. Listen, I understand that my husband, I'm going to talk to the single women first, and then I'll talk to the married women.
She talking to me?
Yes.
We make single women think that you got to walk around looking like Mother May I, and somebody got to say, yes, you may. Nah. In this, listen, you want to go out looking like what you want.
Come on.
Okay.
Why would I go out looking like Mother May I, but I want Brother Come? Why I want him? You know what I'm saying? Why do I want the most attractive, but when they look at me, they ain't gonna want me?
Right.
Please understand the Bible does give us instruction on being moderately dressed.
Right.
But understand what moderately dressed means. That just means don't have all your baby, don't have all the children in church hungry because all your baby is hungry.
Come out.
All the children in church looking at you because they want lunch. No, that ain't what it's all about. That is not sexy. Listen, Lord have mercy.
Come on.
I start sexy not just from what you see. I start sexy long before you see this.
Right.
Sexy starts with what I shower with.
Yes.
Sexy starts with
girl.
The underwear that I put on up. My husband likes matching underwear.
Yes.
Now they ain't gotta be Victoria's Secret, but they ought to be somebody's secret. Listen, when I put on my underwear, honey, Victoria can't tell me if I ain't got on Victoria that day, and I got plenty of
wrong. But guess what? If they look good and they look good on you,
and
they're clean.
Come on. And it makes me walk a little different. It makes me feel a little different. I sit a little different. And everything else sits a little different too.
Yes.
When you feel a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And it just make me just giggle all within myself. But that's where my sexy starts.
But here's the deal. When you can be sexy to yourself,
okay.
Well, you can walk in a room and you don't care what nobody say because you already know what you know.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
I look good today, girl. I used to practice that in the mirror when I was depressed. I walk out the mirror, I look in the mirror before I walk out. Girl, you look good today.
That's it.
I did it, and I still do it today.
But Kim, that's the whole key. Regardless to what you've been taught, regardless to what people have told you, especially those mothers with 7 children and 5 of them got different last names. Regardless to what you've been taught, you should understand that sexy starts with you.
Right.
If you don't like you, there's nothing you can put on that's going to make you sexy.
Come on.
If you don't have it in your head that I like this about me, and if I don't like it, I'm able to change it.
All right.
If you don't get to that point, you can put on whatever you want to put on.
But you know who is the perfect example of that? What's the big good Lizzo? What her name?
The singer.
The singer.
Yes.
So that girl, you have to be comfortable in the skin that you in. I don't care how big you are, how small you are, how round your booty is, or how flat it is. When you comfortable with yourself,
yes,
you can. Oh yeah. Now she can take it to the extreme, but I'm just saying that girl is the most comfortable big girl I ever seen in my life.
Me too.
I've never seen a big girl that comfortable.
Me either.
I just want to add that Chrishon stated that her husband likes her feet. So I ain't never seen her with her toes undone. Let me tell you, I do a makeup, so I've been in the dressing room with him sometimes. Okay?
Right.
So I ain't never seen her toes undone. Her hair always laid. She dresses. She gonna dress to the nines now, and she shaped well. So she gonna make sure that shape shown. Okay, let me tell you something.
There you go. Look at her. I believe
as a married woman, it keeps her husband's eyes on her.
It does. I understand this too, Monty. Other men's eyes be on me too.
Yeah.
Right.
And he appreciates that other men know I got a prize. I ain't got no anything.
Nobody else want. They want to know
that trophy, sir.
We ought to just take a bow and just go on out after that. Listen, nobody wants anything that don't nobody else want.
Right.
So when I fix up, I make sure that the things that I put on, they make me feel some kind of way. And sometimes I'll put them on, I'll wait till my husband come out upstairs and I'll walk out. He said, girl, wait a minute, where we finna go? What time we go? I be so excited, and I know. Now, I also understand, certain things I don't wear in certain places, but I do know how to dress for the occasion.
Right.
Yes, and I do. I like my legs. I was reading an article not too long, a couple of years ago. I went to a funeral, and I wore a black dress, and it was right up above my knee. It wasn't too short, but it was It was just there. And I had a bad pair of stilettos on, huh? And I had on a big black hat. And one of the guys in the choir told me, "Did you know Tina Turner has insurance on her legs?" I said, "You lying." He said, He said, "You need to put insurance on those legs." I just turned around and walked out. Boy, don't tell me that. What you
You did something for you, didn't it? That did something for you.
Listen, it does. And it just makes me aware of, it also makes me aware of what I can and can't wear too. But now, as far as feeling sexy, I can be sexy with stuff all the way up around my neck.
Right. That's the one thing women don't get. Sexy don't necessarily mean
Being
showing
naked.
having on the days. It
That tight as a condom.
I'm just sexy don't mean that. It does not mean that.
That's right.
God knows it don't.
You said that, Miss Kim. That's the truth.
Mm.
Sexy
So
does
now,
not mean
can we dig a little bit deeper into what a sexy woman looks like, right? Because I did hear you all say, and just now, that you don't have to show it all in order to be sexy. That sexy starts in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy starts when we lay out whatever it is on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look? How can we, especially as we talk to, like you said, single women and our younger women
Mm-hmm.
who are right now being fed in the media that sexy is low cut, high cut, tight, everything showing. How can we help them create a different narrative? What can we do to change or shift this culture of sexy being half naked? Not to say that naked isn't sexy, but there's a time and a place for everything.
At home, that's sex at home for you,
Right.
man. That ain't sex in the street.
That's
but
right.
what I say,
Mhm.
where I say that has to start with self-love.
Okay.
Self-love and self-respect.
Mhm.
Because the reason why we can say that about ourselves is because we love ourselves. We love the skin we're in. And we ain't just saying it. We saying it and mean it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
you know what you know, that you know that you know,
Mhm.
nobody can make me change my mind. So I don't need Kim Kardashian. I don't need none of them to make me feel good about myself,
Right.
to make me love me. And we have to start teaching that. I think that's the first thing. That's the first step. And that doesn't matter. That could be church, that could be wherever.
Right.
We have to learn to love ourselves, and we have to be able to look across the room and see somebody and not be jealous of them, because really most people,
Yes.
it's because they know they look good. It ain't really because they want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I want to look like that. Or you have people saying, "Oh, well, I look better than her." Baby, the minute you open your mouth and said that, says you don't.
Exactly.
Right.
Says you don't. So we have to learn. We have to start with the jealousy. We have to learn self-love.
I think also with your friends, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
You better be.
a
If that's
friend
your
of
friend.
mine, she's on here, and I'm not gonna call her name, but she always tell a story about how she had on a ragged pair of boots one day. And I asked her, I think we were going somewhere together, and I was like, "Where you going with them ragged boots on?" And she said from that day up until now, she will not put a regular pair of shoes on her feet because I said something to her about it.
Mhm.
Amen.
And so I
Everybody needs them
feel
kind
like
of in their life.
if you gotta have that friends, I feel like if we start
Yes.
being honest
I
with
don't
people
go
and
along
showing
to
them,
get along. I
a
need
different
to
way,
see me.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you gotta show them a different way. I can take and I have some friends that wear some crazy stuff sometimes, and I just be like, "Girl, let me show you how to do something different." And since they trust me and they know I'm blunt, they allow me to do that. And so I can sometimes change their perspective on what sexy is.
Right.
And so again, it takes being honest, especially when you are with your friends and your friends trust you. Like, you can't be afraid to say what's what and what's too much, and girl, what you need to fix and all that kind of stuff. So
and we should expect that of our friends.
I saw a girl comment. We have a conversation all the time about a church that we used to go to that we felt like that it was so many. It was a group of friends, and it was one girl that she really just didn't look good. She looks amazing, but what she would wear didn't look good. But instead of her friend saying, "Come on, friend," instead, girl, you giving it to him. And I used to be thinking like, "Oh my God,
no,
why y'all doing her like that?"
Maybe she should have asked, "What am I giving them?" Somebody should tell her what she might.
My friend just commented and said, "I'm the friend."
Katrina.
It's me. I appreciate him telling me. Katrina, I wasn't gonna call your name, but
Katrina, we weren't gonna throw you under the bus. But you know what, Monte? I'm that friend too. I'm that friend that is going to. I don't mean to hurt your feeling, baby, but what's happening? Come on. What's going on?
I was going to a funeral and I was picking up one of my brother's friends, and he came out of the house, and he just looked bad. And I rolled the window down before he even got in my car. I said, "Where you going? You ain't gonna want me looking like that." So I took him, because we wore the same size. I took him back to my mom. We were late getting to the funeral. I took him back to my mom's house.
Right.
And I was like, "Put this on."
Yes.
So we got to start being honest and showing people.
That's a true friend right there. That's a friend right there.
And that's what we gotta expect, though, y'all. I gotta go back to that we've gotta expect our friends to pour into us in that way. When we don't set a bar of friendship to say, I expect my friends to be able to check me. Nobody hating on you, baby. You had on raggedy shoes. Nobody hating on you, baby. I got a shirt that fits a little better. If you wear a large and you are forcing into a medium, I need to tell you to stop doing that if it does not look right. Right. And that is my job as a friend, because I love you.
Right. That's right.
Katrina said Monte will get you together, and I love it. I want to ask I want to ask Chrishon, because as Chrishon, those of you that don't know, those of you that are on and didn't hear her introduction, Chrishon is the lead singer for the amazing Anointed Brown Sisters of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And she also released her own single not too long ago called "Good Morning, Jesus. How do you do?" Y'all go and download her single. It will bless you every morning, okay? But anyway, Chrishon also, she does some designing. She didn't tell that part. But she has created uniforms for herself and the other young ladies in the group. And so I guess what I wanted to ask is, when you are designing, and I guess I can still use this word, you incorporate being sexy and presentable in a fashionable way on stage, while also trying to make sure that ministry is also the main focus of presentation on stage.
Absolutely. So, Monte, you know the story. You were there. So we, the Anointed Brown Sisters, me and my sisters, we're some pretty hippie women. We're nice for shape. God has blessed us. But and I'm the smallest one of the group. My daughter sings with us too. And now it's not my sisters. It's me and two other girls with my daughter. And my daughter has a badonk. Like, she just, it's. So we have to be careful. Yeah, I mean, and she has one of those young girl shapes that's just, everything is just in the right places. Mm-hmm. And God bless me not to have that, because he knows my confidence level. Oh Lord, I don't know what I'd be. But so we had on dresses that were very form fitted. They were gray, and they had sparkles on them, big, large sequins all over. And we did a photo shoot in them. Beautiful dresses. And we did the photo shoot in them. They were beautiful. We said, we don't sing in these. Worst mistake we could have ever made. We sang in them, and you could see everybody enjoyed Jesus, but everybody enjoyed them dresses too. And they was looking at us like, ooh. When we came off stage, one of our great pastor friends, who is like a father in the ministry to us, he told us, he said, ooh, y'all song. He said, I have no idea what you said.
Wait a minute, preacher.
And he walked off.
The pastor was looking, honey. The pastor, he got eyes too.
He is saved and anointed, but he is not blind.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we thought about that. My sister made us throw those dresses away after that. So I said, Lord, teach me how to sew.
Mm-hmm.
I really had a desire to, because I couldn't find what I wanted us to look like. So I said, Lord, teach me how to sew. And I want to make what would be best for us, where we can be sexy, but we can be covered up.
Right.
So I got some fitted turtlenecks, and I put ruffle necks around them and ruffle necks around the sleeves. And I did form-fitted skirts, but I put a peplum around them so that you couldn't see the badonk so much.
Okay.
And I put a large flower on us too, so you couldn't see our boobies so much. And it changed the whole outfit. We were yet sexy,
Yes.
but we were covered up.
Right. Right.
I heard of,
So I kind of had to start doing stuff like that so that, you know, we could still be sexy. We could still capture, yes. So we could still capture, you know, be industry presentable as well, but we want to be ministry presentable too.
Right.
And a lot of times I call Monty and, Tim, what this look like? Monty, do this look? Oh yeah, oh now that's good. Now that's bad. Oh girl, that's bad. So I appreciate his wisdom for letting me know. And if we haven't, so what y'all gonna do with that? How y'all gonna fix that up? And then when we kind of get, so that's how, okay, well that look good, because I thought y'all was, you know. And that is that friend that everybody needs. But unfortunately, so many of us walk around in the company of people who are not really friends. Right. They just occupy a space of us not being alone. Yes. And in them occupying that space, they are really null and void to what we really need in our life.
Zero value.
Back to another point about self-love. So many times we've been people teach, especially social media, teaches that self-love comes from looking a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what forums like Queen Bee is. It's forums like this that's going to break that stereotype. So don't stop doing this. I don't care if it gets down to 2 or 3. They're going to pass it on to other people, and you're going to be blessed. The Lord was just telling me that early. I won't even go way there, but this is going to be a major blessing. This is just an inkling of what God is going to do with you all through this. Okay, so don't stop, because it don't look like what you think it should be right now. Don't stop, because it's exactly what God is doing and what he wants you to do. Okay, so let me go back. Self-love, you have to understand that you have to love your good and your bad. Right. You have to love your flaws. While I love me and I'm confident with me, if I had a little money that I could spend, and I get a few things fixed now. Please understand that. I would fix some things, Monty. You know what I'm saying? I would like to be a little more voluptuous in spots. And in some of the other spots, I'd like to take some of that away.
Yes.
That part.
So money can buy it, let's do it.
Yes.
But until money can do that,
nobody else but me.
Listen. Until money can do that, I have some of the sexiest girdles you ever wanted to see.
Come on, undergarment. Yes.
When I put my girdle on. My husband's a babe, man. You got to put on all this. Don't worry about it. I put my girdle on, honey, and the back out, and baby, God, woo, he is so excited. Listen, but my girdle has me snatched in all of the right places.
Come on, Snatch.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
There's an undergarment for that.
Yeah.
There is an
There
undergarment.
are undergarments where you don't have to come out and everything. We do not have to know that everything is Jell-O. We don't have to know that. We don't have to know.
Cottage cheese.
Yes.
Come on, cottage cheese, because Jell-O is a little firm and smooth.
Right.
Chrishon, you got a question in the chat box. Katrina says, "Girl, where you get them from?"
I get them from Shape XL.
Okay.
Shape XL is where I get those girdles. Now, you know, Tamala Man has a dynamic brand of girdle. But Tamala Man's girdles don't go down to my size. I'm little bitty. So it don't go down. Well, I'm not little bitty, but I ain't that size.
What hers go to.
And Tamala Man's don't go down to my size. Or the ones that she has that go down to my size, they don't snatch you like Shape XL.
I didn't know she had a girdle line.
Me either. So
Oh,
this
yes,
is good news because
she
I'm in
does.
her range.
She does.
Snatch.
And they are, when I tell you, you put them on and it's that hourglass.
Mhm.
And the but let me tell you about Shape XL first, because they are affordable and they have the exact same stuff in them. But they have not the wiring. You know how the old girdles had the wiring in them, that when the material is cut, the wire will just about cut you in half?
Right.
It's not these. They have that good plastic in them, and the plastic is also covered with silicone, so that when you put them up, and they have closures and a zip. The zip is hidden, and you don't see it through your form-fitted dresses.
What?
I love
Yes.
because that is a problem for me.
Yes.
I hate to see panty lines, so I know darn well I don't want to see girdle lines.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But these girdles, I'm telling you, they see, this kind of forum needs to be, if COVID ever gets out of here, or you all need to incorporate it in your virtual, a fashion show. People need to see this kind of stuff. You need to see what saved and sexy can look like.
Right.
Hey, we can do a part 2 now.
Okay,
Yes.
y'all listen, y'all work it out. But
We have some boutiques here, and I'm sure we have some in Atlanta we can partner with. Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Done deal. Look.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I can go into my own dresser drawer. I ain't got to go nowhere. I ain't got to buy nothing. Listen,
right.
You got to understand. You got to pull some of this stuff up and gird yourself, honey.
Yes.
Not just with a good girdle too. Listen, pull yourself together.
Yes.
Big is not, just because you are big does not mean you are not sexy.
Yes.
Just because you are little does not mean you sexy.
Hello.
Put you on some, and I can't stand to see. Oh Lord, you know, church. Y'all help me. Those of you who are in the church, y'all listen. Y'all help me, because it's just a few things I don't like. And I said I'm gonna address them today, because I asked the Lord, "Should I do this, Lord?" And He said, "Yes."
Yes.
So, one thing I hate to see too is church women with a whole lot of stuff balled up under your dress.
Girl,
What?
I hate it.
Those were those before they was yours.
Right.
Listen, and if you are up singing or up ministering to people, if you got to walk in the church and walk to the third pew, somebody watching you.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff up under your dress balled up. I be wanting, I almost reach up under, pull that down.
Like, pull that down.
Who drawers were those before you wore? They was 3 sizes bigger than you, because they stretched out of proportion.
I wish you could
I
see
don't
your angle.
understand it. You can be sexy and it will not take anything away from your anointing. It will not take anything away from your salvation. And you don't have to be married and be sexy.
Right.
But you can be married and still be sexy.
Right.
So now I quickly want to pivot, if y'all don't mind, because there's so much that we can talk about, because we even have to talk about slips and all of that, but we'll wait for the fashion show so we can do the do's and don'ts. I'm telling you, it's an undergarment for all of that. We don't need to know. Anyway, so in a quick pivot, what disservice, or has there been a disservice even for the church to kind of disconnect from sexuality, sexual wellness? What impact do y'all think that's having on especially Black women? Because the majority of churches, you know, they say Sunday is probably the most segregated day of the week for Americans. When we're at church, I know that the audience in my church is predominantly Black women, right? So when we remove topics like sex, sexuality, being sexy, how does that impact what this thing called HIV? How does that impact our sexual wellness? These things called STIs, gonorrhea, chlamydia, bacterial vaginosis. I mean, all of these things, by excluding that from conversation at church, how is that impacting us? What are you seeing? What's your experience in that?
I'm gonna go first and yield it to Kim this time. But for me, Sunday morning over the pulpit is really not the time to discuss it because there are so many questions.
Okay.
But like I said, forums like this and meetings with women in the church.
Okay.
You know, the Bible does have a scripture where it talks about the elderly women should teach the younger women.
Yes.
I take that scripture to be not just the older being the elderly, but the elderly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to be elderly in your mind. You have to have a matured mindset to want to share with somebody about things that have worked for you and things that haven't worked for you. And then another thing, we want to associate sexy with sex.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same.
Sexy and sex are two different things.
Right.
At all.
I can be sexy and not having sex with you.
Absolutely.
Not having sex everywhere. But so many people, you know, when you look a certain way, oh, honey, you know, she out there. She doing. No, I like me. I like clothes and I like looking cute. I don't want you, your brother, none of y'all.
Okay.
It doesn't have anything to do with that. But we associate sexy with sex.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And until we get comfortable enough to talk about both.
Right.
We got in church, not necessarily over the pulpit on Sunday mornings, but it should at some point, somebody should say, let's teach about this. That is why STDs go around the church like gossip. That is why, you know what I'm saying? That is why so much goes on, because we're scared to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Tell me. And don't automatically assume that I know. And don't let me learn it from the street, because you know the street ain't going to teach me right.
Right.
Bring some people in. I don't know everything. So when we do things at the church, pastor allows us to bring some people in that can tell more about it than we know. Well, I can't talk to you about medical. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. But when I want our church family to know, I have a good friend, Dr. Jamie Bell. She said, Chris, okay, how deep can I go? I said, honey, go down as deep as you can dig.
Mm-hmm.
And when time run out, we'll start back digging another day. Mm-hmm. But somebody has got to talk about it. They got to let people know and stop having stuff so in the church where we can't talk about stuff. Yeah. If church is going to be that place where sick people can come in and get well, then let it be that place. But I'm mighty afraid As my mama would say, I'm mad at Fred. We done got in church and we are feeding medicine and so-called knowledge to people who are well. Now they sick.
Right.
Going out spreading them same lies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
That's good.
get the sick in the hospital.
Right.
Let's work on the sick.
Yeah.
You know, when you
She's
said
just
that about
not speaking in a, to viewers real quick, Kim, before you said that, she's just not speaking in the physical sickness.
Right.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Yes.
well, what I was about to say
Yes.
is when she started talking about the hospital, I was thinking that, you know, the church, some churches are big because they're swollen with infection, not swollen because they big. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's sick.
Yes.
They need to be well. They need to be educated. The one little thing that I probably disagree with you with, though, Chris, is that I know people believe that it should not be discussed from the pulpit. I really think it should, because that's the only way you're going to get them. That's the only way you're going to get everybody. You get what I'm saying? Do I think the pastor could get educated first and then talk about it? Yes, he needs to. Because they talk about sex is in the Bible. So why can't he talk about it? You got to know what scriptures to pull. And if he the pastor, you ought to know that. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying go preach abstinence, go talk abstinence, because that ain't working. That's like teaching abstinence in school. It ain't working. So then guess what? Get educated. Get educated on the diseases. Get educated. Oh, well, infections now is what they call sexually transmitted infections. Get educated and bring it across the pulpit. And then guess what? You can have a Kim Moon come in and talk a little bit about it, dig deeper, as you would say. Because I think yes, I think women groups every church has a women's group, a teenage group or a girls group or whatever youth girls group. I think those times is when you can dig deeper into the self-love and the self-worth. But I honestly believe the sex part, the diseases, all of that shit can be addressed right from that pulpit, so everybody getting the same thing. Everybody. Ain't nobody going home saying, like I remember speaking one time at an event, and a girl asked me, it was a serious question. How do I go home and ask my husband for an HIV test and he not assume the worst? So I simply said to her that, take a picture of me. I do this everywhere I go. Take a picture of me. And everybody like, okay, they start getting out their phones. Monte, no, I do it everywhere I go. I said, take a picture of me. And they start taking a picture of me. I said, now go home and show this picture to your husband and tell him this is why I want to get tested. This is why I want to know, because she don't look like it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I don't like I always say, I don't really like being used much by people. In fact, I don't like being used by nobody but God. But I'm going to use me today. Take this picture and go talk to your kids, go talk to your friends, go talk to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whoever. And you show this picture, say, this girl don't look like she got HIV, but she do. So we need to get tested. We need to talk about this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know. So I do believe that getting the right wording or getting the right message out to everybody, the same message. Let me put it that way. The same message. Because if I go talk to the women and somebody else go talk to the men, Monte go talk to the men, how do I know that it's the same? How do I know that it's gonna, be the same? And when they get home, it ain't gonna be an argument. If it come across that pulpit, then guess what? We all in there, men, women, boys, and girls. We all getting the same message. It don't have to be the entire message, but I think they could implement it. They could slide it on in there. Preachers are creative today. They know how to get that in there.
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Pam Foster, who actually created a curriculum biblically based. She worked with pastors from across the state of Alabama. Good Bible Belt pastors, look. And she's created a curriculum that ministers can actually use to preach about. HIV to talk about sex, sexuality. So we're definitely going to have Dr. Foster on as a guest, and some other ministers. So we are super, super excited about this topic and glad that we were able to look, just scratch the surface, honey. We got to a little bit of undergarment. We talked about, we scratched the surface of how high should how much thigh is too much thigh, right? Is the knee appropriate?
Yes.
I love the reference. Listen to Mother May I, and you waiting on somebody to say you may. Mm-mm.
I love
Man,
that
Sex
too.
it starts in the shower, y'all. So I'm just trying to like help folks who may just now be tuning in. This has been an awesome conversation. We are still in the midst of it, so to speak, because we have so much more to uncover. Um, because believe it or not, y'all, everything that Minister Smith, everything that Miss Moon has said, what Monte has referenced, is impacting the HIV numbers. Queen Bee was created partly to address Black women because HIV, we are the right behind men who have sex with men with the number of new infections every single year in America. So that means that we got to address this. That Black women, we are the neck, right? We talk about men being the head of the household, but it's great to have a head, but if you place it on shoulders, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's just moving. But you have to have that neck to say, hey, baby, did you go to, when was the last time you went to the doctor? Baby, when you went to the doctor, did they give you an HIV test? Baby, look, I just met you and I really want to be with you, but thinking that we probably need to use a condom because I don't know what you got and you don't know what I got. Hey, you know what? We need to talk about STIs. Have you ever had one before?
right,
How many sex partners have you had before? What type of sex do you like?
right. Conversations need to be had.
Yes, ma'am.
That's true.
I got some quick facts that I just wanted to share.
Absolutely.
Since the base of Queen Bee is for women, I pulled a few women facts that I just kind of wanted to share real quick. 1 in 4 people living with HIV in the United States are women. 1 in 9 of them are unaware of their status. 37,968 new HIV infections in the U.S. in 2018. 19% of those 7,000 were women. 85% of that 6,000 or something were heterosexual contact. Ages 13 through 24, 981 diagnoses in 2018. 25 through 34, 1,923. 35 and through 40, 1,729 women were diagnosed. Ages 45 through 54, 1,417 women were diagnosed, and 55 and up, 1,140 women were diagnosed. Out of 37,968 HIV infections, 57% of those were African American women.
Mm.
And Monte, I just want to say this only because you and I are both in Georgia right now. Georgia, I just looked at it just the other day. Georgia is ranked, well, it says Georgia's ranked for the 2019 is ranked number 2, but it's really not number 2 in HIV cases. DC is number 1, but you got to remember DC is not a state. DC is a district. So really and truly, Georgia is number 1 in HIV cases. I'm saying that because I know some Georgia people are on because I've seen the comments. I really don't know. I mean, you might know where Alabama is, or y'all might can look it up right now. But I'm just saying, like, we are number 1 in HIV cases. That's the latest. That is BS. That is crazy. This is what I say all the time. I didn't have a me. I didn't have a Kim Moon to educate me. I didn't have a Kim Moon to tell me to get tested. I didn't have a Kim Moon traveling all over the world speaking, and I happened to fall in the lap of one of the the facility she was in, or alive. You do get tested.
Yeah.
Not getting tested don't mean you don't have it. I don't know if Monte gave that number, but a lot of people don't know. I do know that 13% of the people, this is just people in general, that's walking around with HIV don't know they got HIV.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know they got it. And by the time they're diagnosed, they have an AIDS diagnosis. And having AIDS just means that your T cells have dropped below 200. That's crazy because you got a Kim Moon and a whole lot of other people in the world that's trying to help this.
I want to, and Kim, I've never asked Kim to share her status on a Queen Bee platform, and she did today. And a lot of people have this thing that if you're HIV positive, you are in the fast life. That is not always the case. And so, Kim, you can tell me no, but can you just give a quick snapshot of your experience,
Yeah,
real quick?
I'm gonna say this right here. First of all, you can say I was in the fast life. I was. I was. I had my first baby I was pregnant at 15. I had her at 16. I had my next. I had two babies in high school, y'all, but I still walked across that stage with my twin brother. Believe that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I didn't get HIV from being fast because by the time I had three babies, honey, I was being a mama and I ain't have time. But I was raped. I was raped by somebody I worked with. Did I know?
Wow.
No. Did I know he? No. I went to the hospital that night. It was negative. The doctor said, come back every 6 months for 3 years. I didn't go back. It was negative. I didn't have no education about HIV. It didn't even matter to me. So then my doctor, this I don't share a lot. I share this a lot this week. God dog. My doctor called and she said, and I won't mention her name, but she says, hey, you didn't come back to get tested. And I said, no, I'm good. It was negative. You know how we do. And so she says, well, her husband and her were leaving going to South Africa for a mission trip. She said, can you just come get tested one last time? Actually, we went to lunch and she told me this. And she said that the person that I named as my rapist was a patient of hers. And she knew. She said, at the risk of losing everything, I know that he's HIV positive. So I just want you to get tested one last time. So I knew it was all God. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have been that AIDS person, that person that didn't know and walked around by the time I found out. Because I was fine. I had no idea. I had no education. And so for 10 years, I was depressed. I'm talking about good and depressed. I was a functioning depressed person. I went to work every day. I sent my son back to Alabama to live with my mom. I would drive back and forth to Alabama to his games. I did everything that I was supposed to do as a person, but I was defeated here. I say it all the time, half the battle of being diagnosed with any life-threatening disease, I don't care if it's cancer, whatever, COVID, right here. If you realize some people get diagnosed with cancer, they die. Somebody else get diagnosed with that same cancer, they live. If you're defeated, chances are you not gonna beat it. You will be defeated. So for me, I had to find my why. I believe that to my soul, to in every ounce of me. If you find your why, you can do it. We go to a job. Some people go to jobs they don't like. Why? They got a why. Paycheck, bills, kids. You know what I'm saying? Me, I took my medicine because I had my why, which was my kids. That was then. My kids grown. My grandkids grown. That's just how much that is. But for me, my why now is the people that I serve, that I want to help, so that nobody else have to live through this. Now, do I believe it's a horrible thing? No. But do society believe it's horrible? Yes. I didn't just get this yesterday. It was 2001. So I done lived a long, 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 long time with this. And I'm fine. And
And listen, Kim is sexy and saved.
I'm her daughter with the big booty.
So I want you to share that, kind of break the stigma of, oh, you're HIV with HIV and you sleep with everybody. That is not everybody's case. So thank you for sharing that.
Literally, this is the truth. When I moved to Georgia in 2000, my last boyfriend My very last boyfriend was probably 2003, up until the depression. I didn't have a boyfriend. I wasn't doing none of that. That was not the case. The hot fat. I was trying to make it. When I moved to Georgia, I was trying to make it. I was ready to get out of Alabama. I was ready to, just try. I had to make it in Georgia because I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back to the country. I didn't want to go back and live. So I had to make it. So no, I wasn't sleeping with nobody. I didn't have no boyfriend. I wasn't nothing. I wasn't nothing.
And Kim still dates.
Yes.
And a woman living with HIV.
Sorry, Pastor, but yes, she gets it in every chance she gets. All right there, but yeah, she gets it in.
I know that that's a conversation for another day, but I just wanted her to share that little piece of her story. We've gone over time. We only like to try to keep you all for at least an hour. And so if you all have any questions, go ahead and type those in as we say our goodbyes, and we'll get to them. Chrishon, you've had a few people to say, is she gonna sing at the end? That's up to you. Whatever you want to do. You say no. Chrishon is not singing on today, guys. But if you want to hear her
acting, look, not acting, but acting. I ain't never heard you sing.
You can download any of my CDs.
I mean, really, that's how you gonna do us? Can we just get a verse? I mean, really though?
Look at us like, yeah.
People like, yeah.
You all can go to all of your media downloads, your music download, whatever you use to download your music. Type in Chrishon Smith, Good Morning Jesus. It's a hit. You can find the Brown Singers. Their last single that they put out, I Need Jesus. Is that the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. That thing will juke you down the road so hard.
You really
ride music.
If you want to see how she sets up on the stage and how she ministers to the people, go over to YouTube. There are plenty of videos there for you to watch for you to be blessed. So those of you that wanted a song at the end, as soon as this live ends, head over to your music downloads and stream her music, or go to YouTube and check her out and sit there and get up and stand up and clap like you're live in the show, and you get all you need from her. All right. Chrishon, we thank you so much for joining us on today. You gave me a yes without any kind of hesitation, and we really appreciate you for joining and giving your input on being saved and sexy and how those two words can coincide with each other. Kim, you the bomb. We would, we can't do this without you, Lydia and I. And Lydia, we go way back like both flats on Cadillac. And so I really appreciate you for just being the head on top of my neck, because you have to leave me sometime because I be everywhere, and I just want to thank you. So, my aunt said she'll make you a potato pie. You can still make Chrishon a pie, but there will be no
please.
And we'll split that. And so since there are no
you said split it, you gonna take her pie? She said make her one, not you.
Let me see
how he threw that in there. You see how he did that?
I saw it.
So I guess we're gonna let you all go. Again, thank you. Be on the lookout for our next topic. We have some amazing things that we're working on and that we're going to be doing. We're also going to incorporate the idea that Chrishon threw in for us, just to give you all something a little different. Thank you. And now we're going to say amen. See y'all later.
Thank y'all so much.